our goodness has nothing to do with getting into heaven's gates.
Amen.
Because the truth is this, we were all that thief and we were all that murderer. It's our sin that put him there. So we all have a label on our forehead. Thief, murderer. We are guilty. There's not one person when you go to a funeral and somebody says, well, they were a good person, so we know they're in heaven. This is a lie that we have accepted, and it's false. Yep. It has nothing to, there is no good. Jesus said there's no good, not one.
That's right. Amen.
Jesus said it, not one of the apostles. Jesus did. None of us have goodness in us. That comes from God. It doesn't come from us. What good is in us is from the Father straight above. So wherever we think, oh, well, I'm a good person, so I'm just going to go to heaven. Baloney. You have a label on you. On your forehead that says you are a thief and a murderer. And as long as that label's on your forehead, you ain't getting anywhere. Unless you meet God on that couch and He imparts His grace to you, you have no rights to be in His home.
That's right.
But if you have come to Christ, you now are a son. That label is removed, and He's given you position. He's given you a name. You have all of those things. You are now the son. You are now a son. You are His son. You are that thief sitting on that couch being bestowed grace upon. It is so much deeper than mercy. But see, what happens is people get saved and we come to the cross and we love the forgiveness of God. It's beautiful and it feels good. We love that part of the story because it's, I got mercy, I got forgiveness. But there's another step. And it's this. See, grace is not what's bestowed at that cross. That's where grace is bestowed right there. Because until you go to the tomb, till someone dies and something is resurrected, grace really isn't finished. Because there has to be a son that comes out of that. And it has to be a different person. The thief has to die. The thief and the murderer has to die. And a son has to come out. See, and there's a process that happens. And often what happens is someone gets saved. They come up and they give their life to the Lord. They have come to the cross. And the reason why we don't see conversions sometimes with people, real conversions, like Paul had, where 3 days he grieved over his past. 3 days God dealt with him. And when the apostle came to him and led him to Jesus, and they prayed, and he gave his life to the Lord, and he gave himself, not his heart, he gave his life to the Lord. Then he got his sight back. Then they went and baptized him. It was a real conversion. Paul went from being a murderer who was killing Christians and persecuting the church, persecuting Christ, because that's what Jesus said, why are you persecuting me? He went from persecuting and beating people up and killing them to literally leading the church and writing the gospel of grace so we would understand it. That is a conversion, and we wonder why when people get saved, we see them out in the bar the next day, or we don't understand, well, they're not in church, and because they never died in the tomb. They went to the cross and got mercy, but they did not understand the concept of grace. They didn't understand that God sat him on the couch and said, you are no longer a thief and a murderer, you are now a son. Now start acting like one.
Yep.
That's the problem.
That's right.
So when we bring someone to Christ, you guys, we got to do better.
Yep.
We got to do better. When this lady got saved a couple weeks ago at Tea With Me, we sat around and talked to her for an hour about what that means to be saved, to give her life to Christ, to give her a Bible, to talk about now you have a home. You have a family that loves you, and anything that you need, whatever questions you have about the Word, we're going to start teaching you. You guys, we were called to disciple people, not lead them to Jesus. We were called to bring them to Jesus and disciple them past it.
Yep.
If there's
Right.
not a conversion, we're missing something here. There has to be more.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't just, oh Jesus, I asked you into my heart and now I'm going to go live however I want to live. And we have no transformation of life. Do you know how many people could look at Jesus one day and say, I asked you in my heart when I was 3.
Mm-hmm.
But you lived your entire life not for me.